So I know that Vin Diesel is basically a meme now with, Fast and the Furious.
Family, 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 family.
And that very awkward interview he did where he became the ultimate simp.
God, you're so beautiful. God, she's so beautiful, man. Am I right or wrong? Look at her. How am I supposed to do this interview? Look at this woman.
Tell me your story.
She's so beautiful. Go on, man. Talk to me, baby. Tell me your story. Tell me yours. Let's get out of here. Let's go. Let's go have lunch.
But at one point, Vin Diesel was the star of one of the most underrated and forgotten franchises ever. To me, Pitch Black is one of the most underrated sci-fi movies with one of the best characters ever, Riddick. So they have announced a new installment is being made, which is now my most anticipated movie, though I have no idea when it's coming out. It looks like he will finally return to Furia, his home planet. This will be the fourth movie with the director, so he knows how to make these movies, plus he also helped on the two games, Butcher Bay and Dark Athena as well. Though he wasn't credited, he also made the short animated movie Dark Fury, which I'd recommend anyone to watch who hasn't seen it. He clearly knows the world very well, so there's not really any concern on that front. So I'm envisioning it'll be a combination of the first and second, but I don't see how the stealth is going to work, since the last one ended with Riddick in charge of the Necromongers, which is a shit name by the way. Any name would have been better, seriously, they sound like a bunch of Jeffrey Dahmers dressed in armor. But I guess it's possible that something worse lives on Furia that kills most of them. The movie already does have a description that basically says that, as Riddick will find the Furians, what's left of them, and they are going to look like him in almost every way, fighting a new enemy. The new enemy hopefully isn't another humanoid race like the Necromongers. With the first and third, we saw creatures that could only come out at night, so they'll have to think of a new, unique creature and how it adjusts to the environment. Though the concept art Vin Diesel released on Instagram a few weeks ago would suggest that they are human-looking, unless of course these are the Furians. We also see a woman in the background of the other piece, so that's most likely Jack, but it could be a Furian, who knows. But from the other picture, I'm now expecting a big fight scene with Riddick and that dude. The last one was closer to the original, and I expect that this one will be closer to Chronicles, but hopefully it works, because in the minds of some, Chronicles of Riddick was bad. I don't agree. I thought the movie was fun, but I do think it'll have to lean more into the dark elements of the first if they want it to work. I'm hoping with all the money that Vin Diesel's been making with those shitty Fast and the Furious movies, which is only two good ones, the first and the third, because they were actually about racing, and the millions he made from just saying the same line over and over as Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy, which are both getting a movie this year, where old Vinny reprises his role, that the movie gets the budget it deserves, well, only if they're going to make a big blockbuster movie out of it, like the second tried to do. Otherwise, I'd prefer it if they just scaled it back, because I would like to finally see a sci-fi movie that isn't overly produced and filled with CGI. Like the first one did use CGI, but only on the creatures, really. The place looked real, unlike some of these movies now, which may as well have been just made in a studio. While they're at it, they should just get rid of the actors and animate the whole fucking thing. I would like to see some practical effects. CGI isn't the end-all be-all. Maybe learn something from the sci-fi movies that you make, and how technology progresses, and show it by pushing special effects further. CGI gets slightly better every now and then, but it's nothing new. Lord of the Rings showed us what was possible with motion capture, but for the most part, there hasn't been any more progression since. We got Smaug and blue people, that seems to be about it. So can we please have another great sci-fi movie? I can't remember what the last great sci-fi movie I saw was. Like, there was a couple in the last decade, I'm sure, if I really thought about it. But none really stick out, and yet every movie they make now is supposed to be this huge blockbuster. So at least it'll be something that I can enjoy for being different. There's also some mystery to this story, as it was an original concept. It wasn't an established series before Pitch Black. It wasn't based on a comic that finished 30 years ago. So we don't know what other Furians look like and act like. We don't know their cultural hierarchy. There's things that we can get excited about, unlike some of this other shit. There aren't many movies that I can get excited about for having another sequel. Now, I don't see it being better than the original, but I would like to see the movie bring more attention to the franchise so that people can appreciate those movies, and allow for more games and possibly shows to be made as well. I realise that this series probably would have died a long time ago without the interest of Vin Diesel and his love for the character in the franchise, but I am curious what other people think of these movies, so tell me in the comments.